All right. Welcome everybody to yes, your favorite, the one and only Sodi Pop on YouTube. Welcome back. Yes, we are about to begin a little comic reading. Of course, we'll do a little discussion as to the market, what just happened, why the hell didn't I get a damn comic again? But that's okay because we're here together as always. If you're in the chat, say hello. If not, that's okay. I love you. Just the same. Well, not exactly the same. Parents always have their favorites, right? All right. Well, let's move on to, you guessed it, Marvel Digital Comics Amazing Spider-Man number 86. I'm sitting here with a little bit of water. Of course, my Animal Crossing cup. Need a little bit of that yum yum, of course. And then I have my coffee. Yesterday we had a really good Twitter space, and then we had one on Saturday that was also really good as well. Rational Asset on the YouTubes and Twitters hosted the one on Saturday, and then When Pokemon and I, again, I think it's the third time now that we've hosted one, had the one on Sunday. Went very well. Everyone's welcome to the one on Sunday. One on Sunday that we lead is my thought process is much more focused. I'm more of a commentator, no, where you control the flow of everything. So I'm more of that entity, and that's how I view myself in that. So controlling the flow of conversation, making sure we have new questions and stuff. And typically it goes pretty well, and making sure everything's positive, trying not to invite up trolls, but it happens. It's actually pretty funny. I messed up one time. Anyways, all right, so we have the Amazing Spider-Man 86 here. We have about 30,000 editions. Yes, 21,000 in the comic, Secret Rare 600. So pretty normal as far as like comic variants are concerned. So you have the original artwork, and of course this is still Women's History Month and will be all month. So we're going to see some cool stuff coming out, I'm sure. We saw She-Hulk come out last week, and then we had the individual artist drop this past weekend, which was very interesting, and we can talk about that a little bit later as far as what happened. I probably won't be doing live streams for a lot unless they're very, very big ones like Pokemon or maybe Disney Gold Moments. I probably won't be doing live streams for those collectibles, with the exception of course, comic books, because we'll be doing a live comic reading like we are today. So we have the common cover, and then just like we have been seeing, we have a variant colorization of the common cover, which is the original cover. And then we have a really fantastic rare and ultra rare cover. I've been really enjoying how on the rare covers, they have the main character highlighted with their colors, and then everything else is black and white. It really helps separate them from the background. I almost prefer those in many ways as opposed to the ultra rare, which is the full color version. And the secret rare, again, going along with the theme, it's a very clean theme. And this is not the first appearance of the Black Widow. We already had that. But this is the Black Widow's origin story, apparently. So, and we will discover that very shortly as we go into the market. Now we have Bitcoin. Let me make sure we're reloading this. Bitcoin down a little bit overall since the past few days. Got up to above 40,000. Now slightly below 40,000. Again, it keeps on going ping-ponging back below. What I thought was really interesting was Ethereum. It was sitting at around, I want to say 4K not too long ago, and then has been moving down. Where's the overview? There we go. So we'll look at the 7-day. It had this like big dip to 2,500, and then has since recovered to like 26. But it's really not too crazy. Again, we were going up to past 3K, and then about a month ago, hanging up above that 3K price. So since we have plunged like to the mid 2600s, which I found very interesting. It doesn't really mean anything, with Bitcoin hanging out. And so we will see what happens. And then the OMI price, of course, is down overall, as a lot of stuff has been last week. I can hear my cat licking tape behind me. The OMI price, if you've been patient, good for you. You've been able to get a really great OMI price, and you may be able to get even better in the future. Who knows? Maybe even worse. We don't know, of course. No one really knows. As the war continues on, as everything continues on going that direction, and of course we have a lot of uncertainty in the markets as far as when and how much interest rates will be raised. Anytime there's uncertainty, this happened at the beginning of the pandemic in March of the pandemic. Of course, we had like tons of uncertainty. There were shutdowns, and how long would they last? Kind of as soon as that uncertainty was settled, either for the positive or negative, that's when things started to recover. Baby, what are you doing? All right, he is calming down, I think. He already threw up this morning, so we had to clean that up. Not really fun. All right, let's go ahead and get to the comic and start reading. Let me know in the comments if you were able to snag one. I did not. I tried for the initial, tried for the next couple of rebounds. I know they updated the app. I saw it early morning, and a lot of people were complaining about the updates and what they did to the market as far as like the update. So I chose not to update because of that, but I'll probably update right now, and we will see what it looks like as far as the market is concerned. Now let's go into Marvel Ultimate, and we're gonna read some Spidermans. Cool. Beautiful. We are good to go. No, that's not what I want. Okay. X out of here. Go back to the Amazing Spider-Man, as I have been reading him before. Should be in my library, hopefully. Ultimate Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man. And let's just make sure I know. Let's put you on Comic Reader. And let's make sure I have the correct numbers. 86, right? Amazing Spider, yeah, 86. Amazing Spider-Man number 86. So we'll go ahead and read that bad boy and get ready. A little bit of coffee, huh? If you're in the chat, say hello. And I will be having a giveaway coming up once we reach 500 subscribers. Almost happened. All right. So, of course, we have Stan Lee as the writer, John Romita Sr. as the penciler, Jim Mooney as the inker, and Sam Rosen as the letter. Very nice. Lots of men for a women's issue, right? All right. Let's go. The Amazing Spider-Man. How can I fight her? She's a female copy of myself. Prepare for Spidey's strangest battle. Very interesting. There's a few things that I noticed in the comic yesterday. Of course, we have Natasha. Looks here. The Amazing Spider-Man. Beware. The Black Widow. I can't wait to get home. I'm still reeling from the blow I took when I had to fight Kingpin. I wonder how other costume swingers go from battle to battle without taking a break. They must know something that I don't. Very observant. Spider-Man! He swung by so fast, he didn't even notice me. It's happened, right here. Last-ish, if you didn't know. Dan. Produced by Stan Lee, author. John Romita, Jim Mooney, illustrators. Sam Rosen letter. In which sensational new costume adventure comes into being, and you are there, sharing the excitement and the action. All right, beware the Black Widow. Let's go. Why didn't I think this is the Black Widow. All right, so we'll try the Russian accent. We'll see. Why didn't I think of him before? He'd be the perfect answer to everything I need, especially now when I've decided to begin my career anew. If I could just learn the secret of Spider-Man's powers and then combine them with my own, then no one would be able to stop the Black Widow. Nice. I might as well face it. I can't spend my life just being Madame Natasha. There are too many tragic memories that never stop haunting me. Memories that would let me rest, that won't let me sleep, that won't let me ever know peace. And my only escape is the frightfulness of the action and danger can bring. Now, even now, the torment of the past brings rushing back to haunt me. I still remember that fateful day I was commissioned as a spy, for the native land behind the Iron Curtain. Yep, and this was like her, this was like how we saw her in her original costuming. Hello, hello, hello. Thanks, Theories Gaming. I love it. And if you fail, the life your husband will be forfeit. You shall have the mighty Crimson Dynamo to serve you. Ooh, Crimson Dynamo. Look at that guy. Thus, Madame Natasha was transformed into a costume Black Widow. I was given powers enough to be challenged the Iron Man. But then came my undoing, the day I met Hawkeye. Damn Hawkeye. Longtime Marvelites will remember these and the following sequences from many of our older megs. Too numerous to list. Besides, I forgot the issue numbers. Stan. Though we both knew our romance was hopeless from the start, fate had turned two enemies into star-crossed lovers. Never forget you, Natasha. Never. Then, in an effort to escape, to lose my heartbreak in this seething whirlpool of adventure, I served the Avengers and the dedicated agents of Nick Fury's shield. Don't try to warn me of danger. I want an assignment. If you say so, lady. How could I have known? How could I have suspected my efforts would contribute to the death of the Red Guardian? The man who had been my own husband. Oh, it's awful. It's not good. Finally, I could bear the torment no longer. I had to leave, to flee from everything, from everyone. I was linked to my tragic, guilt-ridden past. I mustn't turn back. I mustn't ever turn back. But now I know that living a life of luxury, as wealthy, pleasure-seeking Madame Natasha, is not an answer for me. I've become the leader of a jet set, and I hated every moment of it. I've got to become the Black Widow once again. I've got to do what I do best, to fulfill my destiny, to help forget the haunted past. And in order to erase my every last vestige of the past, I shall begin designing a costume for myself. Very smart. It always helps to be creative. And then I'll search for Spiderman. And for those of you who, though we had forgotten, the star of the little saga. Why do I feel so tired, so groggy? I must have been coming down with something. Can't wait to hit the sack. Oh no, all the times I have company. Don't be worried, dear. I'm sure he's all right. We're bound to hear from him soon. I never know where he goes, Gwen. But he always comes back, okay? I can't bear to see Gwendy so upset. I've got to get in there. As Peter Parker, and soon. Besides, I'm feeling too shaky to stay out here much longer. Got him. He got his shoes. Or the shadowy side of the building. Oops, I almost slipped. Just then. I wonder how long they've been in the room. How much do they suspect? Well, I've managed to keep my secret so far. If my luck holds out, there's no reason why. Oh, only my head would stop throbbing. Well, here goes. Hi, group. Tell me I didn't miss the party. Peter, it's you. You're all right. I told you he'll be back. He's always hungry after feeding time. I know. I should act angry and hard to get, but I missed you, man. Oh, man of mine. Captain Stacy, why is he looking at me that way? What happened to your face, son? Peter, I didn't notice. You've been hurt. Nuts, I forgot. I must be bruised from my fight with Kingpin. It was Spider-Man. He didn't do it to you, did he? When you came here before looking for you, I knew it was dangerous. I could sense it. I agree she'll end up hating Spider-Man, but what else can I say? And I'm too clumsy, a liar, a dream of something new. Can tell her Peter Parker was battling the Kingpin? Peter, if you're in any sort of trouble. Another development from the last ish, remember? I'm not in trouble. Why does everyone keep hounding me? Easy, Pete, easy. Don't lose your temper. What's wrong with me? Hounding you? Is that all you can say to people who worry about you? What? We want to help you. Is that how you feel about a girl who loves you? Well, that's not very good, Peter. Gwen, forgive me. I didn't mean to snap at you like that. I just wouldn't hurt you for anything in the world. If you really mean that, I want you to make a promise. Anything, honey. Anything. Promise me You'll do anything. You'll never do anything with Spider-Man again. It's too dangerous. Those photos you take of him aren't worth the risk. But she's only asking me for my own good because she loves me. I can't deny her again. And yet, how can I pledge her the impossible? You can call me when you promise. I'll drive you both home. Oh, that's not good. Captain Stacy, you know how I feel about Gwen. I wouldn't hurt her for anything, but I understand, son. But Gwen is a female, and like all females, she thinks with her heart. Oh, that's rude, Captain Stacy. She feels you're keeping something from her, and that's hard to take for a girl in love. Much more does he suspect about me than he'll admit. Only this dizziness would pass, and I could think clearly. I've been injured in fights before, but this never felt like this. My spider strength never failed me. It always brought me a really quick recovery. But what if I'm losing it? What if I've been one fight too many? Can't shake the feeling of lethargy and dullness. Couldn't even study, I'm so tired. But maybe just as well, I'm glad that I'm groggy, glad that it's hard to think. Anything's better than facing the fact that I might be losing Gwen. And now that we've concluded one of the longest scene-setting introductions in comic book history, let's see if we can get our story going while it's still young enough to care. That's funny that they've recognized how long that was. Get a little coffee for Natasha. It may not be as fancy, but the new costume will be more keeping with the swingy 70s. It does look cooler. And with the modern image of the new Black Widow. And this chain belt I've added will be more than decorative. It will hold my spare web line and store the powerlets for my widow's bite. Snap. There we go. There, with my modified wrist shooters in position, I'm ready for anything. But no matter how effective my powers may be, they're just like a female imitation of the original wall-crawling, web-shooting Spiderman. Zat! And since the Black Widow has no intention of living in the shadow of another, I've got to go after Spider-Man and snare him, and see what makes him tick. If this power should prove to be the greater than mine, I've got to learn how and why. Zack! Whatever his secret may be, I've got to find it, and use it for the benefit of the new Black Widow. Nice. And so my first task must be to find Spider-Man, and then when I do, I must prove myself his equal, or learn the reason why. Later, at the office of the Daily Beagle. Spider-Man? Swinging past? No, it isn't the wall crawler, it's a girl, copying his act. That and his blasted town needs another crummy web swinging and female to boot. Spider-Man probably put her up to it to confuse everybody. I'd almost forgot. And how glorious it feels to swing through the air, free as a bird. Now I'll need to wait for my prey. And speaking of the youth who seems to be everybody's mind today, it's no use. It's no use. The more I try to study, the groggier I get. I don't know what's been wrong with me, but whatever it is, it's getting worse. I always wondered if my spider power would someday fade away. After all, there's no reason to think it will last forever. But it won't help to sit around feeling sorry for myself. If anything's wrong, I want to know about it. And this is a good way to get out to find out. If it isn't anything serious, then a good workout ought to clear my mind. But if the case is losing my powers, I won't be able to keep up much longer. Ugh! There comes that dizziness again. I'm feeling to fall. Better play safe and use my webbing to support. Nuts! All the places for this to happen, right outside of Jameson's office. Someone's at my window. Don't go bananas, bird brain. It's only me. You creep. I don't know what you're up to, but if you try any funny stuff around here... Not a chance, Chuckles. I'm too scared you'll pop me with your paperclip. Just wait till the cops get you. Ah! Go down, you silent majority. Anything to shut you up. Oops. Hold on. Let's go back. Anything to shut you up. Perhaps I ought to swing past my Aunt May's. If I look in at her, it may stop me from thinking about myself so much. And as Spider-Man silently glides towards the modest little frame house in the Forest Hills. I'm sure that this hot milk and cookies will help you sleep, my dear. I don't know what can be keeping me awake tonight, Anna. Unless that's the fact that I haven't heard from Peter lately. I know I shouldn't worry, but she's sure to be asleep at this hour. But I'll ask if Anna wants it. Oh no, it's her. She sees me. Anna! Yes, May? At the window, there's a face. Now, dear, you mustn't let your imagination run away with you. You're all keyed up, and that's why you can't sleep. I suppose you're right, Anna. The face isn't there anymore, but it seems so lifelike. Well, I almost did it again. Thanks to my own carelessness, I almost frightened my poor old lady out of her wits. I better head back before something else goes wrong. But, at that crucial moment, I found him at last. My spider sense, why is it tingling? I'll announce myself with my widow's bite. Zacked! Ah! It's Spider-Man. He's falling, but I didn't strike him that hard. Why is he playing possum or what? I'll let myself fall and get out of range. Well, I know who's attacking me. Can't take any chances. I've got to catch him. There, I've got him safely tied to the grinder. The girder. Alright. He has Spider-Man. So now I can see what makes him tick. Whoever it is coming closer. I can sense it. Caught me off balance, broke my line of kicking out with his free foot. Then he was playing possum. Snap! The line breaks. Now it's my turn. Have to swing to the wall, then see what I caught. Female. One that I've never seen before? These aren't the ideal conditions for an introduction, but I'm called Black Widow. Black Widow? Used to be with the Avengers, but not in that getup. Anyway, the important thing is, why do you tag me? Come closer and find out. Look, a girl can get hurt up here. Give me your hand and I'll help you down. Can't stay up much higher much longer. This way, my head's spinning around. He's within range. Now, to get him. Ah! Okay, masked man, now we're even. Just think I'm helpless, just because I'm a soft and cuddly. Ah, she hits him. Soft and cuddly, that kick felt like a Missouri mule. That's just what was starters. Wait till you see the goodies that come next. What's wrong with him? Why doesn't he defend himself? The whole purpose of all this is for me to learn about his powers, but he's beginning to look like he doesn't have any. What's happened? My speed. I couldn't duck fast enough. She hits him. I've got to rest, store up my strength, and at the same time, learn what she's up to. Look, Spider-Man, for the so-called living legend, you're a king-size disappointment to me. I'm beginning to think that Woody Allen could take care of you. Now, that he'd want to. You're supposed to be the most dangerous opponent of all. That's why I tackled you. I wanted to learn from you. I thought I'd discovered the secret of your power. Power? What a laugh. The biggest washout since the flood. You broke my line, but I heard enough, lady. No curvy carbon copy is going to swipe my style. There's only room for one Spider-Man in this town, and you're looking at him. That strain has me groggy again, but she mustn't suspect. Let's see what you can do now with your wrist gizmo stuffed with my web fluid. Sup! He jammed him up. I can't fire. But I was wrong about him. He must have been toying with me. Don't even come close to being his match. I got my powers through training in unique weapons, but the way he moves and fights and uses his strength, it's like he was born this way. And so, whatever strange secret Spider-Man may possess, they're bound to remain in his own until he himself decides to give them away. And perhaps that's the way it should be. I have my own unusual powers, my own style of combat, and my own strange destiny to fulfill. So that, whatever dangers lie ahead, I'll face them in my way, as the Black Widow. And, if you've guessed that this was your sneaky way of whetting your appetite, for more appearances of the Black Widow in her own monthly strip, The Amazing Tales, on sale early in May, you were right, perceptive one. Sly Stan. But now, back to the greatest one of all. Well, I managed to get her off my back, but it was lucky for me that she didn't want to return the match. It took all willpower I could muster, but to toss that sponge back there. I thought fresh air and exercise would get me back in shape. But can't kid myself any longer. There's something wrong with me. and it's something no amount of web slinging can cure. Now I have to get home as soon as possible, while I can still make it on my own. But I can take a chance that Harry will be asleep, because even if he isn't, I couldn't make it back out again. Later, after a brief rest, if I go to the doctor, he might want to check my blood. That's one thing I fear, one thing that could reveal my secret. But what if my hunch is correct? What if I am losing my spider power? What if my blood is turning normal? There's one way to find out. I've got to test myself. I've got to know. He takes a sample of his blood. And so, just one drop here in the slide. Now, all I have to do is look, learn whether Spiderman is no longer. But why can't I do it? Why am I still having this way? After all these years, when I've secretly wished I could be normal, just like everyone else. Now that there's a chance, my wish becoming true, is that what I'm really afraid of? Next, unmasked at last. The Black Widow is trying to learn who's Spider-Man, his real powers, what's going on. That was a story. Looks like Spider-Man got to meet Black Widow. And interesting story, you know, not one that was super powerful, I will say. Enjoyable, yes, as they typically are. But the last few ones I've read have been like, oh, kind of moving. You know, the one with where we introduced Captain Carter. She was kind of like this, I guess, her and Captain America had a love thing, and then he lost her at the end of the war. There was a bomb that exploded that caused her amnesia, of course, you know, classic amnesia. So there's a bomb that exploded that caused that, and so she doesn't remember him, and he feels that he lost her forever. So really kind of sad circumstances, and she was fighting in the resistance, which was a little bit different than I think how the movies did it. You know, obviously with this, we found out, and we would have found out before, that her and Hawkeye had fallen in love. Her husband had been killed, the Red whatever. And it's actually nice to see that the Marvel movies, I was happy, they kept her and Clint, Mr. Hawkeye, as just friends, which was, I'm glad they did, because the chemistry it made sense that they were like colleagues for a long time, and they were really good friends, and they had like a lot of love and respect for each other. But I'm glad they kept them as separate. I felt like it would have maybe felt a little forced if they didn't. Okay, let's go ahead and check to see if the market is open here. Let me make sure that we're on the market. One moment as we do that. If you're in the chat, say hello. Theories Gaming, thank you again for saying hello. All right, looks like the market is open. Let's go back to market. Beautiful. So apparently there's an update that messes with the way the market is right here. So this is one way to get quickly MIT numbers and stuff. You could essentially just refresh this, and it appears the quickest like this. And I think the oh, what are you doing, kitty? Rooster. Oh, okay. Okay. This is Rue. Yeah. Hi, how you doing? So this is my other cat. She is very loud sometimes. Just because she likes to play and hang out. She's how you doing? Looking at the camera. So anyways, back to the market here. We have on this iPad, I don't have the text change. So what you want to do is change the text to the smallest, and the buy now button will appear. Oh, hey. I might have to kick her out. She's being really loud. Anyways, you want to change the text to the smallest, and the buy now button will appear right at the bottom. One moment, I'm gonna kick her out. She's being so loud. Get out of here. Ooh. Okay. Come on. Mickey Mouse shirt on today. You can't really see, but it's on. So you're able to buy right away, and this is probably the quickest way to buy stuff. And you really have to know, like, you really have to be quick and you have to know that you want to buy. You have to have your gems ready. You have to know that you want to buy the edition number and kind of what prices they're at and what you want to buy them at. You got to be careful, but it is a way to do it. Apparently, they've changed that in the newest update. Let's go ahead and look at the price of this Spider-Man Beware of the Black Widow. I can't imagine it's going to be too much. Yeah, 8 gems. That makes sense for this one. You know, it's not a first appearance or anything. It's kind of a first introduction of Spider-Man. Enjoyable, but I wouldn't say it didn't really touch me. You know, a lot of these, like the Kraven's Last Hunt and stuff, is very touching, and like I got chills reading it. And even the same with the Captain America one. I got chills reading it, and like you could feel the loss and stuff like that. So that's why I've come to like starting to read these, try and understand like the history. Of course, there's nothing like being a kid and reading it and rereading it again, but I wasn't into comics at that time. So it's been really, really enjoyable to reread them and kind of get my own feeling for it, how important it is to me personally. Of course, we have the Uncanny X-Men, the introduction of Bishop at 7 gems. So there's a lot of these that have stayed low. Ghost Rider should be a little bit more expensive at 44. Wow. Yeah, so that one has really moved up. Was at 30 for a little bit. Went up to actually like 45. Then moved back up. Of course, we have Broke Boy Tita at 69, selling a few of them. But yeah, that one actually did pretty well. I bought a low mint number of one of those. And we have the introduction of the She-Hulk to the Fantastic Four. I don't believe it's a first appearance. It's just the introduction of her joining the Fantastic Four, which is pretty cool. Again, that was the first time we saw the first release we saw during Women's History Month. And we had, let's see, what was the one with 10,000 editions that just released? Was it no? Was it this one? Wasn't Tales of Suspense, was it? 10,000 editions. What was it? What was it? It was it the She-Hulk one? Maybe. I think it was. Yes, it was the She-Hulk one. Was the 10,000 editions. So let's look at that. I'm curious to see where that is sitting for the common. Only 13 gems, so that was selling around 24, 25 upon release, and then really, really dropped because I think there was maybe an overexcitement about how rare it is at 10,000 copies, but it's also not a very important comic. So, you know, you got to keep that in mind. You got to keep not only the rarity of something, but how important the comic is itself. And that's why reading them really helps give you that example. Ghost Rider is a first appearance of Ghost Rider. You know, that's a pretty important character, pretty important comic because of that. And we will probably see him again shortly. Of course, we're going to see the She-Hulk again, but this is not the FA of She-Hulk. You know, if they put the FA in, we already have the FA of Black Widow, which is, I believe, doing decently well. Let's see if we can find that. I'm always curious about the Young Avengers, just because I had bought a secret rare. I'm still underwater on that. I bought it a while ago for 500 gems. So that one's just been hanging out there. It did move above that for a minute, but I didn't sell it. I was just like, oh, hold on to it, get the points. The Ultimate Fallout, this one has dropped quite a bit below 100. So it got up all the way to like 170, 180. So maybe not a bad buy right now. There's really a lot of stuff that you could buy right now. I personally, for comics, really, really would only stick to the big ones. So that's going to be Ultimate Fallout, maybe Avengers King, if you can. 290, that's still kind of too expensive though for me personally. Possibly Journey into Mystery, Fantastic Four #1, Marvel Comics #1, Amazing Spider-Man #1, the FA of Doctor Doom, the FA of... What about the Black Knight? How's that doing? 15 gems, that could be a good one to stack up a little bit on. But yeah, FA of Doctor Doom, and then the X-Men ones are doing not super well. This one had a 25,000 edition size. The secret rare is doing well. It's maintained around that 2,000 for quite a while. I know it pumped up a little bit, but 2,000 is where it's been at for quite a long time. So lots and lots of good stuff. Again, if I were to buy comics, I really, really stick to like the top 10 maybe, and don't go much past that if I'm going to accumulate. I do usually want like one of each common comic. but I'm slowly like shying away from that as I don't get comic drops anymore or any drops anymore. I've been saving my gems for bigger and bigger stuff. I don't want it to be whittled away by getting comics and then seeing those prices go nowhere in the short term. I think once more people come on, once the market recovers in general, and it might take a while for the market to recover, once it does, I think everything will kind of move up in price, whether it be the regular comics or not. Plus, when they release MCP and burning and all this stuff, everything will do pretty well because of the way the points work. So, yes, anyways, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the current market conditions. That will be the end of my broadcast for today, short and sweet as we move on. Again, I'm willing to stay on more if we have questions and stuff. Of course, we have the market. We can look at some of. Now, one thing, actually, before I leave, one thing that I saw you could do was no, all collectibles. I wonder if we can see the market, interactive data-driven smart account valuations, Twitter alerts, mint hunters, secondary market, temporary disabled. Oh, of course it is. Someone said you could see the general collectibles versus comics, which I don't see how you can see it. Like you could see the overall market cap of collectibles versus just overall collectible versus comics, because they tend to like more attention is paid to comics sometimes, more attention is paid to collectibles sometimes. It goes kind of back and forth depending on what's the popular thing at the time, but it doesn't look like I can, so I can't like see the overall. These are just my stuff, which I don't really have anything entered in, and then all collectibles. Yeah, it doesn't look like I really can, so interesting. Huh. Okay, well, maybe we'll try and figure that out later. Anyways, and then you had Matt Gondak's weapon rack. Has been moving up slowly in price. I got one of these blue and pink ones at like around 30 gems, just because I like the color and I wanted to have one of them. I personally probably won't complete this set. It is one of the cheaper sets to complete now, so maybe one that you might want to. I still need to complete the Fantastic Four, the Marvel Mighties, as I misspell everything. The Marvel Mighties, so I need to grab the thing, which, no, okay, let's just type in Marvel Mighties, or Mighty Marvels, Mighty Marvels. I always do that, and I hear a lot of other people do it as well. Mighty Marvels. Oop. Sorry about that, guys. I was on the wrong screen for a minute. The Mighty Marvels. Get it that way? No. Fantastic. Should come up with Fantastic Four. For some reason, just Sue Storm is and Mr. Fantastic. Maybe we can try Marvel Mighties. Let's maybe type in Mighties. Mighties, is that? I think I was spelling it wrong with the IES instead of a YS. Okay, so we have Black Cat, Green Goblin. Oh, Green Goblin, the FA of Green Goblin might not be a bad one to snag. So this one's been doing nothing but really going down. Usually it's just like a slope down, which is great if you want to buy one. Spiderman under 100. Nice. He's not the FA. I probably would prefer a regular common Spider-Man. Spider-Man 29.9 doing well. Spider-Gwen 70 gems. Spider-Woman 35 gems. Not a bad idea maybe to pick up a couple of those. I don't think she will stay down there forever. I can easily see her double or tripling. As all of these kind of will, except I don't really have too much stock in any of these ones. The those gods. The movie was enjoyable, it was good, but I think the spider ones will be much more popular in general. Captain Carter, I think will be pretty popular. She is a set in and of herself, and I think she should probably be worth more. Dr. Doom, always very popular. I snagged one of these, a low mint one of these, like as things were just starting to pump up. He hadn't really pumped up yet, so I snagged a low mint, like 15% above floor for him. And actually, this price is right around where I snagged the low mint at, which the floor price was lower because it was like around, I want to say 700 or something, because I wanted to pay more for a lower mint, I should say. The thing is one that I need to snag. So let's see where he's at. He's actually like recovered a little bit, but maybe not a bad price to get him at. I would ideally like to be at like 20, but might be too picky with that one. The Human Torch, great. He's below 100. That's exactly where I want him. So I might pick him up right now on the market because I wanted him to be pumped all the way to 2 something. And I was waiting until he was below 100 because he kept on being at like 110. So he might be a great pickup today for me right now. And then I'm just waiting on the thing and I will have completed this set. All right, guys, well, thank you so much. I think that will do it for today's stream. So talk a little bit about the market. We did the comic reading, which was a decent comic. I think there are definitely better ones on the app. And we will definitely do this next comic drop. Let's see if VeVe, if they have announced anything past this. I don't think they have that I've seen. No, so we just know about this one for now as far as like release dates. So we are waiting to see when the next VeVe releases. Usually they do every 2 days, so we should probably see one coming up in, it was Monday, so we should probably see one on Wednesday that I imagine they would announce later today. So we will have that drop most likely Wednesday morning. That's kind of how they've been doing it. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I hope you had a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your Women's History Month. I will see you next time, probably Wednesday, if it's a comic drop. If it's not a big drop, if it's an individual artist, I'll probably just sleep in and try and catch it myself. I unfortunately did not catch the one today. Hopefully you did. Hopefully you got a secret rare. And let me know if you're going to keep it or not. I probably, if I receive it right away, I'll probably sell it on the drop if I was able to get a good price for it. If not, I might just hold on to it and just hang out and wait till there's maybe a market pump, maybe not. Who knows? All right, guys, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Remember, be yourself, eat a cookie. Follow me on the 3Ts and IG, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and Instagram. Sodi Pop Media, SodiPopMedia.com. I'll see you.